Hey everyone, welcome to Jojo's World.
Good morning and salutations.
Salutations to you too, Nicholas. You've invited me into your lovely home to record this episode of the podcast, Jojo's World.
And that is the only reason that you are here right now.
The only reason I would be allowed in.
My secret, shall I say, cave of solitude.
Yep. I drove out to the boonies, where on the way back a hillbilly is going to murder me. And now we are recording a lovely podcast about Jojo's Bizarre Adventure called Jojo's World.
That's what we do. That's why you're here. And never shall those two worlds ever expand beyond that.
I will explain the reason we are recording in Nick's house today is that unfortunately I've gone through a bit of a breakup recently and I've had to move house as a result, so that's all in process. The reason I mention this is so that we don't have to talk around it in case, a good opportunity to dunk on me comes up as a result.
Which it will.
And B, because as with every time we move studio, TBC if this episode's going to sound quite right for the next episode or two, but bear with us and we'll sort it out.
Yeah, if it sounds like shit, blame me, the landlord,
Yeah.
who apparently couldn't afford a studio.
Couldn't afford curtains.
Unironically, I also can't afford curtains right now.
Oh, we get to dunk on you as well.
Oh, damn it!
So yeah, that's what's going on. We're not dwelling on it. Don't want to bum out people at the start of the podcast, but
you can also hear...
But you can hear the wildlife.
Oh, living in the Australian outback.
Living in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
Living in a suburban nightmare.
Lynchian.
Ooh, I don't know what that means.
Like David Lynch.
I still...
The villain of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable.
David Lynch.
Or the villain of the flashback last episode.
David Lynch.
So called because he lynched Wes Aquamarine.
Oh, God. I cannot get over the fact his name is Wes Aquamarine.
I know, or Blue Marine, technically. But we're big proponents of Wes I can't even say it. Aquamarine.
Aquaman mean.
Yeah. Ocean Man.
Ocean Man. Where's Aquamarine, aka Ocean Man?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
We're big proponents of calling him Wes Aquamarine in the same way, even though we can't pronounce it, in the same way that we're big proponents of calling Steely Dan, Dan of Steel.
Oh, but that is the only way you are going to pronounce his name when you learn about Dan of Steel.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? There's no way you're going to call him Steely Dan.
Nah.
Never.
What are we, dads? Dad's like Steely Dan, the band.
Oh, gotcha. No, absolutely not. I would never.
But we're not here to just talk about life updates. We're here to talk about the 32nd episode of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Stone Ocean, entitled Heavy Weather, Part 3.
That's the third one.
It is. It was released on Netflix December 1st, 2022, and aired in Japan February 25, 2023.
Huh. That's an odd amount of time to pass.
No, it's not. It covers chapters 727 through 731 of the Jojo's Bizarre Adventure manga by Hirohiko Araki.
A classic.
A classic. Some of our favourite numbers there.
Are any of them
All
prime?
of them prime.
Oh my god. Each and every one.
Each more prime than the last.
From what were the numbers?
727 through 731.
And what was the song from The Simpsons that was like, you've got me down from chimpan A to chimpanzee or whatever it is?
From the Planets of the Apes music.
Yeah, can we make that out of 727 to 731?
Well, Nick, we are due a new theme song.
I've got a great idea.
Okay. Heavy Weather Part 3. Weather Report has finished telling us his backstory. That's how I choose to remember what happened. And engages in a death battle with his twin brother, Father Pucci. Anasui contributes to either side.
Anasui's just there.
Yeah.
He's just kind of around me like, oh my god, I'm also in the fight.
What did you think about this one, Nick?
What the literal fuck was Araki thinking?
Big swings, a lot of big swings by both parties in this episode.
Just so many questions around, like, what was the logic of every single bit of this fight? So, like, A, we've got everyone turning into snails.
Yeah, for very normal, explained reasons.
Yep, which is, logical. Mm-hmm. And then B,
it's very scientific.
Look, you get the message, you've lost, that's it. But, like, Father Pucci just got, like, 4 new powers in this fight.
Certainly one I can think of.
Yeah, and then also super speed. He did a lot when that car came by.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, that was ridiculous.
Yep.
There was also just, the charm, the grace, the you're doing what I say now, which kind of makes
He's done
sense.
things like that
Yeah.
before.
But now it's like, I'm just controlling you now.
Yeah.
Just like, okay.
The thing he did to Anasui.
Yeah. And just a wild ride from start to finish.
A real romp.
Even I was like, well, this is a bit of a leap.
Meanwhile, Versus has got his learner's permit.
I just Araki, what was he doing at this time? Like, was he going through, like, a house move or something?
Nick, I'm glad you asked.
Oh, God.
Please, shut up.
Wait, what?
I want to share with you some words of wisdom from Hirohiko Araki's Author's Note for Stone Ocean Volume 16.
I'm very excited.
Which covers the final chapters of this arc, as well as the subsequent chapters.
Ooh, we're nearing the end.
We are. There is one more volume after this one.
Oh my God.
Which we're at the start of.
Oh, okay.
So, 2 more full volumes, essentially.
That's a lot of manga, but not a lot of anime.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Well, not if they're pacing it like bloody One Piece episodes were when I stopped watching that, when they were doing bloody, like, 1 chapter per episode.
Wasn't there, like, literally a sequence of, like, 200 episodes that was filler?
That was Naruto, I think.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. One Piece would never.
I mean, One Piece had some shitty filler that I never watched,
but we would never delve into that.
Manga editors generally only work during the afternoon. Sounds like a good job.
Nice.
20 years ago, I brought my script to the Shueisha building in the morning and showed it to the only person who was working at that hour. That person became the very first editor-in-chief of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And his impressions and suggestions were very important to me. If I had gone there during the afternoon and met another editor, I would have produced a very different work. Fate isn't founded on chance. And it has its reasons.
Why? Why is it every author's note has some weirdly poignant bullshit in it?
The destiny of the stars defines us vis-a-vis publishing manga. That's me editorializing.
Oh, man.
Within JoJo, this viewpoint is taken as a fact. Not because it makes sense scientifically, but because that's how I feel about it.
Oh, of course, that's where it ends, of course.
Fate is written in the stars, and that impacts us and the Joestars.
So is he saying that astrology is real? Is that what he's saying?
No, he's saying destiny is real.
Ah, gotcha. Fate is literal, and very much you should be watching yourself for it.
Yeah, and we know that from Speedwagon.
Yeah,
He taught us about how Dio has the devil's own luck and they would not take him this night. Or was that Wang Chung? It doesn't matter.
I don't know. There's a bunch of people who are like, fate has selected me for this.
The Joestar curse that haunted young Joseph Joestar throughout his days.
And every subsequent Joestar.
Yes. Nick, I want you to continue to shut up.
Okay.
Because we're doing a little bonus thingy today.
What?
Where I'm going to share with you some content from a 2022 interview with Hirohiko Araki in Vogue Plus magazine, a Chinese monthly beauty magazine.
What? This isn't even like a manga or anime kind of magazine.
It's kind of about, no, it's a fashion magazine, but
Yeah.
this is an interview about Stone Ocean.
Oh my god. What? He's made it.
I mean, he's had high-profile collabs. He's been in the Louvre, Nick.
I know, but still.
Gucci.
This
Rohan
still-
went to Gucci.
It still boggles my mind. It's like, oh, he's just inserted himself into the fashion industry via manga. That's not right. That's not.
Okay, so there is it's a question and answer format.
Okay.
It's been 20 years since you created Stone Ocean, a masterpiece of a manga featuring a female protagonist. What was the reason that you made the main character a woman?
Finally.
He responds.
Closure.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a manga series based around the theme of the protagonists inheriting the spirits of their ancestors. My goal was to make the main character of Stone Ocean, Jolene Cujo, a woman who would still be able to hold her own in a fight, both physically and mentally.
Wait, that's it?
Yep, he made the main character a woman because his goal was to make the main character a woman.
I can respect that. I can respect the shit out of that.
How does the way you portray Jolene Cujo physically differ from those of your other male protagonists? Even when depicting male characters, I often reference poses and styles used by women. And while drawing female characters, I try to make them more expressive and dynamic than they would be normally. In Jolene's case, I was very conscious of how muscular the character would be. She certainly is muscular.
Yeah.
More so than I would say Jono. More muscular than
sure.
Jono.
Jono's also like, 12? So he can't have muscles yet.
Yeah, it's the law.
It's the law.
He's an urchin. The way the series focuses on spiritual power and the manifestation of stands is very unique. What were you thinking when you came up with this concept?
Sorry, that was completely the wrong tone for what were you thinking?
What were you thinking when you came up with this concept? Idiot. Cuck.
Listen, you lib fuck.
Stands were created to reflect an inner power that's invisible to the naked eye. That's why when I design stands in my manga, I aim to match the ability and appearance to the personality of the user they're tied to. Follow-up question. So what's the design process for Jolene's stand Stone Free? Jolene's stand Stone Free has the ability to turn itself into string and manipulate it. The more string it uses up, the weaker the main body becomes. This gives the stand a risk and reward element that I think goes together very well. I don't really feel like that really came through in the manga.
I kind of get it.
I kind of feel like she just has infinite string.
Yeah. I vaguely understand what he's going for, but also, that didn't really answer the question.
I've noticed that over time, the characters in Jojo have become much slimmer, sexier, and softer from how you initially drew them.
Oh, yeah.
What was the reason for this change? Yeah, they've become a lot sexier.
They've become a lot slimmer now, haven't they, lad?
Looks like sexy's back on the menu, boys. I don't know what that was.
Just an orc who's just like slimming
The
down
Jojo orc.
The Jojo orc.
I think it's because of how the times have changed. In the 80s, main characters were drawn as the embodiment of adventure, with muscular bodies and strong features. However, when I came up with the concept of inner power in the 90s, the bodies of the main characters started to become more normal-sized, around 5'7" to 5'9".
But what is
Normal size? 5'7" to 5'9".
Oh, touche.
Not using this height, but with the same statements. Branson Reese, the DM of Rude Tales of Magic and creator of the Swan Boy webcomic, once said, with regard to his own height, the height of 6'4".
Oh my god, he's
tall.
6'4".
Yep. He said, what is it? Anything taller than 6'4" is freakish, and anything smaller is clownish. So we could say the same about anything outside of the 5'7" to 5'9" range.
Wait, but what's within that? Oh, I guess that's normal then, isn't it? Yeah. Does that make either of us freakish or clownish?
That makes me just barely freakish. I'm pretty much exactly 6 feet.
You love to be a little bit freakish.
Get my freak on. How does fashion tie into your manga?
Now, look, I could probably answer this fucking question.
Yeah.
Is the answer just, I love fashion?
Pretty much. Fashion plays a very important role in the creation of my manga because it helps highlight the appearance and personality of my characters.
Ah, wise.
And now, this next question is the reason we are doing this interview today. The characters in Jojo are very elegant and beautiful. Which character design is your favourite? It would have to be Weather Report's fur hat.
No, that's not real.
Yeah,
no.
Which I thought we established in the flashback last time wasn't a fur hat, but it was his hair.
Just his hair, just up a bit.
Apparently not. It's his fur hat. So his favourite character design is Weather Report's fur hat,
which isn't a fur hat.
which isn't a character.
No, it's part of the character though. Like it's.
That's not what the question was, though.
Wait, what was the question?
Which character design is your favourite?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about character design, aren't every element of a character design part of the character design?
Isn't every element.
Okay, fair enough.
You should shoot me in the face for correcting you like that. 2 more questions. I heard you're personally involved in selecting the ending songs for the Jojo anime. So why did you choose Distant Dreamer by Duffy as the ending song for Stone Ocean?
I thought it sounded nice.
When I listen to it, I vividly picture Stone Ocean's protagonist Jolene within the coastal prison. Duffy's Distant Dreamer is a great song and I love it very much.
Wow. God damn it.
Araki is a man who sometimes seems like he's without depth.
Just occasionally you'll be like, wow.
Why did you put this amazing symbolic thing in your manga? Oh, well, I thought it was nice.
So why did you reference this deep-seated lore of the Bible in this death scene for Caesar.
I love the Bible. I think the imagery is really cool.
I see.
Final question. Vogue magazine has appeared many times in Jojo. Can you tell us the influence that Vogue has had on your art?
Has it?
Vogue is a fashion magazine chock full of avant-garde and artistic photos. Every time I read it, I get inspired to draw.
I literally thought it was going to end at
I like it very much.
No, I thought it was going to end at Vogue is a fashion magazine. Just be like, oh good, excellent, glad we've got that reputation.
Now you've heard of us.
God damn it.
Now you know the rest of the story.
So his favourite character design as of 2022.
Weather Report's fur hat.
Jesus Christ.
Rest in peace, King.
It could have
If
been...
only Jolene
literally
took
anything.
that hat.
Oh, what if like...
Anasui wore it.
Yeah, what if Anasui was like, he saved me. Take hat, and now...
Yeah, it's what Speedwagon did. Throwback.
Wait, what did Speedway
Took Zappelli's big hat.
True, he did, didn't he? Thus losing his
I'll put
sharp
some bloody razor blades in this big top hat. I'm gonna fuck someone up.
I'll be unstoppable. Unless that Jonathan Joestar has anything to say
Unless he
about it.
punches me and makes me nice again. That's right, it wore off. Evil Speedwagon's back. Time to become an oil baron.
God damn.
That's how it went down. I defy you to tell me otherwise.
Listen, evil is just a state of being, you know? One day you've got an evil hat, the next day you've got a good hat, but when the good...
Some days you have no hat at all, some days it's just your hair.
Yeah. And other days, that's Jojo's, baby.
It's Florida. We open. They're making Versus drive their car that Jolene hotwired with her string. Hermes has him in a constant headlock and says if he fucks up, she'll kill him.
Yep. A wise move, given that he could just die at any minute from being a snail.
I'm trying to drive nice, but this snail-eating bug is on me and it's trying to kill me and eat me.
It's eating my leg. I don't want it to eat my
Concerning.
leg.
More on them at the end of the episode. Right?
It really is kind of like that with them.
Meanwhile, we pick up where we left off last time with Anasui and Weather Report, aka Wes Aquamarine, where Weather has told Anasui that he's going to kill Pucci, who's very nearby, and that once he's done so, Anasui has to kill him. He elaborates that he's got a darkness in his heart now that his memories are back. He can't control the snail power. He doesn't want to destroy the whole world.
He doesn't want to see the world burn.
No. He just wants to kill that damn priest using his snail magic and also his regular weather magic.
And then be done with it.
Yeah. So
be gone from this world.
It reminds me of the Japanese concept of seppuku.
I don't know if that's how seppuku
in that you have a
works.
guy that cuts off your head when you're done.
Oh. But in this case, he's not seppukuing himself.
He's going to seppuku Pucci.
Yeah, he's going to seppuku Pucci.
Have
and
Anasui kill him.
So, is that...
No.
Okay,
it's not the same.
But I see where
But
you're
it
going.
reminds me of it.
Yeah. I like the idea of just renaming, like, I'm going to kill you to, I'm going to seppuku you, and then have
Assisted
this guy...
seppuku.
Yeah, I'm going to assist seppuku you, and then have that guy chop off my head. Hot damn.
His dark heart feels partially satisfied with the state of things. There's a great line where Anasui is looking around and he says, Jolene better not be turning into a snail.
There's so much talk of turning into a snail, being a snail, or snails in general.
Weather says, for instance, try not to move. I can't even begin to guess, but it's likely that touching the snails triggers metamorphosis. It's convergent evolution.
Convergent evolution.
Carcinization, but with snails.
Oh.
Where everything
is turning into a crab.
And then those crabs
turn into snails. Shit.
The circle of life.
Why does everything turn into a crab?
It's just something evolution likes to do. It's what peak performance looks like. Apparently, I was listening to a podcast about this just yesterday, actually. There's also like maybe 8 or so independently evolved anteaters. Nature also loves an anteater.
Huh. Do we have the same thing with like
defined
humans?
as having big claws for breaking
scratching
into
away.
nests and stuff, and the long sticky tongue coming out of the long snoot.
Yeah.
What did you say about humans?
Do we have something similar for it?
Did lots of different species independently evolve into humans?
Yeah, like are we converging to that point?
Like how fairies, how elves in D&D are the humanoid form of fae.
Exactly.
all the other shit that is basically a human but is from like a cow or...
Yeah, it's like you got all these things that are like, oh, well, we're all tending towards bipedal assholes, so why don't we just kind of...
Oh, like the Fresno right Nightcrawler, the bipedal asshole we talked about a little while ago.
Exactly. Wait, was that the cryptid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Why aren't we all converging to that guy?
It's
or
what
those
peak performance
guys?
looks like.
Just run real fast, no wind resistance on the top half.
Weather can tell that Pucci is very close. He's basically here, but they don't know where he is. And they're like, it's real sort of, it's quiet, too quiet, walking into the western town. Wow, wow, wow.
They're checking their surroundings a lot, so going, what if he's in that building?
I have to stop Pucci from using Jolene's father's memory.
There's a lot of good one-liners in this episode.
I will finish him off, and then you can kill me. All right. That's how it goes. That's not the intonation of the response. Yeah.
It's just like, there's so much in this episode that makes me go, all right, we're doing this now. But it's so worth it for when they're like, oh no, the snails.
I mean, there is a nice shout out in this sequence too, where they're both like, yeah, and also for FF. Remember her? I do.
Do you remember FF dying? It's like, oh, I guess I do.
We should probably kill Pucci in vengeance.
Yeah.
That won't start an uncontrollable cycle of violence because he's a priest. He has no kids.
That's not how trauma works, Liam. There's no cycle involved. Everyone is, you get revenge, you're happy. Finished. Done. All the other parts of JoJo's have taught us that when you get revenge, you live a happy life.
There was a line that you particularly enjoyed in our watch, I remember, Nick. So Anasui is asking where Pucci is. Is he coming from the north or south? And Weather Report responds, it's not even a matter of the direction. He's already here.
Fucking goddamn it.
He's within our 20-meter radius.
It's like in Aliens when they're just like, okay, they're coming from ahead. They're in the vents.
It says they're in the same room as us.
They just look up and Pucci is just standing on like a hoverboard being like, this is my new power
I
now.
can fly now. I took the power of flight out of a bird and put it in this skateboard.
Oh my god. His power with the discs is unstoppable.
Weather Report sends out Weather Report. That's not confusing at all.
That's right.
And checks the airflow of a nearby building to see if Pucci's in there. No. And Asui speculates, oh, well, maybe he's in one of those parked cars. He does a big crab pincer motion with his hands by extending them both out to his arms out to their full length and then vertically touching their fingertips.
Which makes no sense on any level.
Is indicating, let's approach the car from either end and ambush him.
It's like a pincer maneuver, but rather than doing like horizontally bringing your fingers together, he's going vertically so his hands are coming up and down towards each other. But what the fuck is that?
Well,
why wouldn't he just...
They've got an intuitive link because Weather understood it perfectly and they did it.
Yep.
And the plan would have worked were it not for the fact that he's not even in the car. He's underneath a pile of snails nearby. He lashes out and effortlessly severs Weather Report's leg, aka Wes's leg, informing us that we are officially in the Dio's mansion portion of Stone Ocean.
Shit, we're in the end game of this fight. Which goes on for another 15 minutes.
Blood goes everywhere, and that will be important later.
We cannot stress enough.
There's basically, but like after a couple more blows, there's basically no stretch of this road that isn't full of either blood or snails.
And it's just, there's so much blood.
There is.
And it's all coming from Wes. It's insane how much blood
Pucci is unseen, but he's monologuing. I am painfully aware of your control over the weather.
And so Wes is just like, what?
And he's peeking out from underneath a huge pile of snails. Somehow he's mastered the ability to not turn into a snail.
But that's impossible.
Every living thing, animals and insects, turns into snails in this phenomenon. Once I learned how the weather works, I no longer fear touching the snails.
Yet another banger one-liner from this episode.
Yep, and he explains that after their last encounter in 1988, also the year Dio died, he learnt that, or he observed a blind woman unaffected by the phenomenon, and he realised it was something to do with sight, illustrating the point where the camera remembers Anasui is here so that he can yell, Pucci, you bastard! And then he catches sight of a rainbow in a car mirror and instantly starts turning into a snail.
And then I think we, the audience, are like, oh, it's the rainbow. But the two of them are like, What?
Yeah.
What?
He's like, you should have just stayed in prison. Shouldn't have gotten involved with Jolene and me. Tisk tisk.
Listen, I had plenty of opportunities to kill you, but I hope that you take a long time to die.
Yeah, if you die, I hope it takes a few more hours. That's why I blasted your leg off. He wants the snail phenomenon to stick around to deal with anyone else who might be a threat to him.
Yeah, like Jolene,
Hermes, Emporio, Polnareff, Giorno Giovanna, who's probably in Florida somewhere.
Jonathan Joestar, who's probably coming up from the grave.
The lower 90% of his body
is now Snail.
Joseph Joestar is probably out there somewhere.
Look, they're all here. This is it.
Holly with a gun.
Holly's just there being like, now you
Josuke.
Oh yeah, Josuke's around, isn't he?
Okuyasu, whole horse.
Where's Koichi? If Koichi was here, none of this would have happened.
Kishibe Rohan could just write, I will not turn into a snail on himself.
Look, I'm not a snail. Boop.
I am a human man.
Oh, now see, I don't know if I want to go that far.
I am a mangaka.
There you go. That's better. So he's gloating over Wes Aquamarine, being all like, listen, you idiots. I know how this whole thing works. You don't, but I do. And the way that I know about it is because I know about it. That's how I know about it.
He holds out his nice watch, which appears to have a little blue starry umbrella on it, the face.
Oh, is this one of those, those really fancy watches?
Oh, like this thing also rotates around the face.
Yeah, and it's like inside
maybe it tells you the daytime?
Something like that, or like the gears do things inside.
I don't know enough about high-end watches.
I mean, neither do I. But I'm glad that neither of us do, because I'm sure that's a rabbit hole of
chronograph assholes.
Oh, I want to know what the time is, but for a lot of money.
In 3 days, everything's going to happen. The thing the green baby wanted, the thing Dio wanted, heaven inside my body.
Soon he'll attain it. And it'll be something.
But
yep,
there's a flaw in his plan to just let Wes bleed out.
Oh, did we go over the fact that he's currently blind?
No, we don't know that yet.
Don't we?
No.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, because first, even though he is currently blind, he does become aware that Diver Down has fused with Weather Report's leg wound and is allowing him to leap into the air and kick his ass.
So he does it, but Father Pucci is a weak son of a bitch.
Yeah, he gets his shit... So, what happens is a big, gust of weather and punch comes out from the Weather Report stand. Whitesnake blocks it, but then some wind hits Pucci in the face, and it breaks the skin and sends him flying back into a car.
Anasui immediately is like, that's it! He's a weak fighter! If you get in close enough, you'll beat the living shit out of him!
I really like the idea of this use of Diver Down.
Yeah. Because it's like, he's in him, but it's not just deconstructing him. It's like, oh, I just replace his leg.
And it's teamwork.
Yeah. It's like, oh, my thing can go inside of you, and then you can use it. It's like, Anasui's being useful in the fight.
Yeah.
This is cool.
He's helping.
He's doing literally anything
He's doing,
right now.
the most he's done since he got attacked by fairy tale goats.
Oh, yeah. I kind of blotted that episode out of my mind.
Fever dream vibes.
Such a strange episode.
What has Anasui done over the run of this manga?
He's basically said...
He withheld help from Foo Fighters a lot.
Yep, true. He decided that Jolene was going to be his wife.
Oh, he turned that guy's ribs into a time bomb.
That's
the survivor guy.
He noted things about the baby, but didn't do anything to stop it.
He got repeatedly owned by... I take it back. He did defeat Yo-Yo Ma.
Oh, was Yo-Yo Ma the lady?
No, the fucked up little butler guy.
Fucked up
on the fan boat. He turned his brain into a frog's brain.
Oh, that's right. So he thought it was
credit where it's due. He did win that fight.
He did get that. Okay. Other than that, I can't think of many instances where he's been like, I'm really helpful here.
No.
But this time, he's being sort of useful.
Yeah. Weather Report goes in for the kill. Big flash of light. The snailization increases on Anasui. And the Diver Down stand falls away because he's too snaily. At this point, Pucci expounds that it is from subliminal messages hidden in the...
Jesus Christ.
Hidden in the rainbows. Okay, so we're going to unpack this whole thing.
Okay.
So
the rainbows.
It's a subliminal.
It's a
He
subliminal
explains what subliminal messages are. Like words hidden in a poster, and we see Phillips for Congress, which is a reference to the senator who appears in part 3, Wilson Phillips, who Dio makes drive down the street.
Yep.
Maybe. With the words sex, 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 sex. Hidden
like-
in his poster.
It looks like it's graffiti on
That
there,
sexy Congressman Phillips.
Oh, yeah. Love sexy Congressman Phillips.
Or hiding Coca-Cola stills in frames for a movie. Make you want Coca-Cola.
Ooh. Yep.
Imperceptible to the human mind, they are picked up by the subconscious mind and influence your behavior much more than they otherwise would.
Oh my god.
That's the definition in psychology, he says. And Nick and I, both of our very basic level psychology studies, are kind of like...
Well, mine's pretty in-depth. I finished my psych degree.
Oh, did you major in psych?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just did a couple of electives.
Oh, okay. But both of us definitely know.
And we know that it's not that potent.
I did a little quick, Googling of it.
You did some peer review.
And I can tell you right now, apparently subliminal messaging definitely works if the person was already going to do it anyway.
Yes.
So there's that, at least. But everything I read was so no research has backed it up, but if they were going to do it, they definitely do it with the subliminal messaging. I was like, okay.
Weather reports rainbows are sending subliminal messages in the form of the weather. This is some conspiracy theories. They're sending subliminal messages in the weather.
Well, when you look into the rainbow, what do you see?
Images of snails are hidden in the rainbows, or maybe they stimulate primitive instincts. Either way, if you look at them, you start to believe you are turning into a snail.
And thus.
And because the mind defines the body, you start to turn into a snail.
Now, what I love about this is that everyone was already thinking of turning into a snail already. So just from seeing that...
God, it's so fucking embarrassing when you're you're just doing work or whatever, and you just see something, and then you accidentally think about turning into a snail, and it's no, fuck, I'm turning into a snail at work.
It's the worst. And you get that slime everywhere. And
Yeah.
oh...
We've all been there.
We've all been there. I was there the other day. I got better, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. We killed Weather Report. So.
Yeah, we killed Weather Report. We stopped the phenomenon.
Yeah.
That's why it's happening. And it's not affecting Pucci because he used his Whitesnake power to take out his eyesight. And he didn't just do that with one big disc. He's got two little discs for each, one little disc for each eye that he holds up next to his eyes to illustrate, this is where my eyesight is.
They're literally the size of the top bit of his thumb.
Yeah.
And he's I've got these little
Or like a bottle cap.
Yeah. He could be wearing a hat and it would be even more effective, but he's not.
What?
Oh, wait, no, these are his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so each eye has its own thing for eyesight.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just have one disc for eyesight?
Do you think he was holding the discs in front of his eyes?
Yeah, I thought literally
No,
he was
I'll never see the rainbow.
Yeah, literally I thought he was I'm just putting these discs here. And
He
then
did have a
holding
cool
them.
hat a few episodes ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was it cool?
No.
Okay, there we go. There it is. I remember the hat. I was I don't know.
I don't need vision to see where you are. I can still sense you with that weird thing we've got going on.
It's just, this whole episode is just the level of bonkers for you to go, this is ridiculous, but these one-liners make it all worth it.
He starts to go in for the kill. Mm-hmm. First he... So Whitesnake is still lying in the pile of snails.
Why is he struggling with it as well? He's...
No, he's doing a big upward chop, chopping off Weather Report's other leg.
He's hidden in the snails.
Yeah.
Right,
They'll
gotcha.
never find him there.
Oh my god.
Chops off Weather Report's second leg. Even more blood goes everywhere. And for good measure, punches Anasui in the face too. Starts monologuing about how his purpose is to take all humans to heaven. Why would you stand in his way? It's good. Heaven's good. Colton Burpo taught us that heaven is for real.
Colton Burpo?
Okay, we're getting into it.
Oh no.
Colton Burpo
Yeah.
is that American kid who died on the operating table briefly or something. He was 6 years old. And when he came back, he was heaven is for real. And so his parents made him go on all these reality shows.
What?
Not reality shows, talk shows.
What? Hang on. What year was this?
I don't know, maybe 2000.
What? Why?
For money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. But why?
And his name was Colton Burpo.
What in that is... I have so many questions that are never going to get answered now.
And that young boy grew up to be...
Father Pucci.
Yeah.
So
He changed his name because it's an incredibly embarrassing name.
let me get this right. So Colton Burpo was on the operating table
Or something.
and like maybe for like who knows how long, comes out of like a coma or whatever, maybe medically induced, maybe normal. Some medical thing happens, comes back and he's all like,
I went to heaven and I
was
saw
there."
angels and Abraham Lincoln was there.
So taking the word of the 6-year-old child who went through medically
Probably has
induced
no
whatever.
concept of Christian heaven.
Yep. The parents immediately go,
We're going to put this kid on TV.
it's a sign of God. Let's do it. Did they actually get money from
I
it?
don't know, probably.
Did the kid get money from
I
it?
doubt it.
Oh, man. Was it like a long-lived thing or was it like a brief meme?
It was like a 15 minutes of film
Oh,
thing,
okay,
you know,
alright.
I think.
It was like a Tuesday. We were
I think
like,
they might have made like a Lifetime movie about him. My memory's getting vaguer on these details, so I may be wrong on some of this.
just the concept of...
I mostly just know the name Colton Burpo.
It's like the concept of we made a Lifetime movie.
And now you do as well, listener.
A Lifetime movie about someone that's 6 years old.
I mean, that's what they do with Lifetime movies in the US. Like that episode
Yeah.
of 30 Rock where Jack is watching the Lifetime movie about his current girlfriend, about how her neighbor's dog shot her face off.
Is this the one played by, what's her name?
Oh, I don't know who plays her, actually.
Oh,
but she's a Congress person.
Congress person?
Yeah. Like season 2-ish.
Oh, okay, alright.
It's not Elizabeth Banks.
No. And it's not...
Selma Hayek.
Yeah, it's not Salma Hayek, no.
Boy, he dated some good-looking actresses in that show.
I think that may have been the intent. So Anasui's all like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? This is crazy.
No, well, actually, Pucci is still monologuing. You're
God,
letting
what?
a few mere deaths dictate the fate of the masses. Domine quo vadis. Latin, let's look it up.
Ooh, hang on, I can probably pronounce it correctly.
Well, okay.
How do you spell it? Domino's Pizza.
Ah, it's got a Wikipedia page.
I think it'd be...
Domine quo vadis,
Well, it'd be...
with a question mark, is a 1602 painting by the Italian Baroque painter Annibale Carracci, depicting a scene from the Apocrypha Acts of Peter.
Domino Quo Vadis? Is it going to be like
I don't know.
Like a real, like, Et tu vibe to it?
Let's see. The painting is one of his best-known works. Peter is depicted fleeing Rome to avoid crucifixion and has a vision of meeting Christ bearing his cross. Peter asks Jesus, Quo vadis? To which he replies, Romam vado interum crucifigi. I am going to Rome to be crucified again. Peter returns to Rome after the vision. I said, is it like, Domine might be God or something like that? No, divine, Jesus, I don't know. We can look it up a more literal translation momentarily.
Yeah.
Lord, where are you going? Yes, that's what I was
I
speculating,
see.
essentially.
So is it just like, in your moments of faith, ask, Lord, where are you going? And you will receive the answer.
I am going to Rome to be crucified again.
Like, what? Like, if you're just like sitting in a room like, "Oh, I've been one with the faith for so long that I don't know what it all means. Lord, where are you going? Oh, he's on his way to Rome.
The scene, as catalogued in the Apocryphal Acts of St. Peter, describes Peter who was fleeing Rome at the time of Emperor Nero's persecution.
Oh,
this
Nero.
is well post-Jesus, I guess.
Nero.
My favourite Devil May Cry character. This encounter is reminiscent of Peter's denial when he chose to deny Jesus 3 times. St. Peter realizes that he is on his way to making the same mistake all over again now, abandoning Jesus and his church in a moment of danger. He turns around and returns to Rome to face martyrdom. So Pucci is basically declaring himself...
Jesus. Oh no, he's declaring himself Peter?
He's declaring himself a martyr, essentially.
Right, okay.
And he's saying that these guys should submit to their metaphorical crucifixion for the betterment of all.
I see.
At that point, he steps on a big spike made of blood.
Wait, hang on a minute. If he's asking the question Domino Quo Vadis,
Yeah.
isn't he Peter that's going back for
No,
martyrdom?
he would be... I think he's asking it rhetorically. Because he also next answers the question.
Right, okay. He's just like, Domino Quo Vadis? Yes, I am God.
You shall be crucified.
And then he steps on a big spike.
Yep. Nick likened this next sequence to Sideshow Bob repeatedly stepping on rakes. And I have to say, it's on point.
Look, he's surrounded by spikes on all sides. And literally every time for the next, a minute,
He takes a step. He steps
he
on a big
steps on a
spike made of
spike.
blood.
And he just goes, another spike.
He's blind. He can't see what stabbed him, but he quickly figures out this is Weather's doing. He is using cold wind to create upward motion in the blood.
It's like a little...
And freezing it.
It's like a little dust devil that is freezing the blood.
Yeah. Clever use of weather. I guess he can only really manipulate like air pressure, wind, and temperature. Because as I said to you, and the rainbows, of course, like he never just like lances Pucci with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, no.
And then he did the frogs earlier too. So like he can do weather, but he doesn't just like cast level 4 lightning bolts on him.
Well, look, he's not a magician, you know.
He's a stand user.
Yeah, he only has the power to control all weather.
Yeah.
Like, he's not some crazy wizard from...
You would think if his dark heart wanted to destroy Pucci at any cost, he would just like cause like a category 5 cyclone or something.
Yeah, if at any cost it's like, I have to kill him. But then, obviously, Pucci would be like, no, I have to go into the eye of the storm.
And of course, all that ozone layer stuff that was foreshadowed a couple of episodes ago never went anywhere.
I still don't understand why we were talking about it now, but...
Because I guess Unchained Weather has the potential power to just like rip apart the ozone
fabric
layer
of the universe. Yeah, I get you. With those frogs.
Yeah.
Or the snails.
Or that one big frog that tormented Egypt.
I love the fact that it's like, my God, Weather Report's power is unrestrained. It's uncontrollable. The two big things that have happened that are like, whoa, have been snails and frogs.
And blood spikes.
So blood spikes is more like a little, let's just...
Now, he did stop a car from going north on the highway by causing rain.
But that wasn't really like a big, like, game-changing power. That was just like, yeah, I'll make some rain.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like, those are the two things that we've got.
It's like Storm from X-Men. Like, she's like the most powerful person.
And that we're always just like, oh yeah, she can make weather happen. But it's like, yeah, but you keep trying to make her do cool
Weather
things.
is a broad category for phenomena.
Yeah. It's like when you got like, what's his name? Iceman. And he's like, yeah, I can freeze things. And you're like, cool. Storm can.
Yeah, she can do that. She can electrocute things.
She can do basically everything. Like, I think she's pretty good on that front. What do you got, Rogue?
I can kill everyone I love.
So could I, in theory.
I just choose not to.
Storm goes to every other X-Men. It's just like, oh yeah, I reckon I could do it.
She can't do Wolverine shit because he's the best at what he does, and what he does isn't pretty, bub.
But it's like, if you were like, what can Beast do? It's like, I'm pretty strong.
I can do Beast stuff.
Oh, I reckon I could do that. Just get a bear. Just like fling him from...
With weather.
Yeah, with weather. Just fling him in there. I could be a beast. I could do that. Cyclops, what can you do?
I can shoot kinetic blasts from my eyes.
Oh, yeah, I reckon I could do that as well. You know, maybe
lightning bolts.
Me just being Storm.
Or just like pick up anything with wind and throw it at you.
Yeah. Hey, Professor X, what can you do?
I have psychic powers.
Oh, I reckon there's a weather power for that as well. I reckon it's in there. Just go into every
the
single one.
Storm.
Oh, man.
Okay. I don't know how we got onto that subject.
Weather Report controls the weather.
Yes.
Much like he's controlling these spikes.
Yes, it's your choice to stay blind, Father, but can your choice withstand my special blood spikes? You can choose to keep tearing your shit up like a father stepping on so many Legos, or you could just put your eyes back in and see some rainbows.
It's a metaphor.
Taste the rainbow, fucker.
This is what Skittles tried to warn us all this time, is just like, Weather Report is here and real.
Yeah, Pucci unhesitatingly taking out his vision is a potent metaphor for the blind faith he conducts his plot with.
He knows he's going to win. That's why he counts in prime numbers.
I will say, the climax of this episode does make a great case for Pucci's like unflinching self-assuredness that he's in the right and will be rewarded.
Yeah. And yet somehow we'll get there.
Yeah. He keeps stepping on blood and it hurts. And he's like, owie. So he grabs Anasui and puts his fingers in his brain and controls him by doing that somehow. He's not putting a disc in him, he's just putting his fingers in his brain. Who knows?
He can do that now.
It's probably just visual shorthand for I'm putting a disc in your head to make you...
Maybe. But we're in Endgame Jojo's powers are whatever.
And so Anasui has no choice but to emotionlessly monologue the things that he sees.
So Pucci's all like, all right, you're going to guide me now.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
And he's like, yep, take 3 steps left, then go right, forward, left.
So Pucci starts being all like, this is very good. This is very good. All right, where do I need to go now?
Oh, well, since I didn't say it before because I was looking down, but since you've made me look, I'll tell you. There's one more... It's such a weird way he phrases that.
It's so beautiful.
I'll tell you. There's one more spike. It's on your shoulder and it's just about to pierce your neck. Oops, there it goes.
Nani?
Because Weather Report did the same trick. He's resourceful. You've got to give him that.
It's true.
Did the same trick to the blood from the previous wound that he inflicted on Pucci. And froze that blood upwards and made it pierce his throat.
Which is kind of an ingenious maneuver if he was just like, what if I just use the wind?
Nobody makes me freeze my own blood.
What if he just used the wind to just extract more blood out of the wound?
Or just use the wind to snap Pucci's neck.
Nah, that's
a very localized cyclone.
The dust devil is growing stronger, but just around my neck. I don't know why. Oh, wait. Actually, that would have been a very... the more that I think about it, the more that I'm like, that would have just been a really smart way of handling the problem.
Pucci keeps insisting that he's virtuous and that Weather was cursed from birth.
Mm-hmm. As we all are, obviously.
Yeah, we're cursed with life.
Yeah.
Much like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
It's all come full circle.
We do have fun here.
My
I don't even know why I find that funny.
Whenever we're alive, we're all just going, yeah, I get it. And then being, persecuted by a bunch of villagers.
Yeah, I might have to call this episode Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for no reason.
Well, wouldn't it have to be, we're all Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
Yeah, standing up in the Colosseum, I'm Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
And then someone is just like, you're part of the dark universe, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm Dracula Untold.
Oh, fuck. God, I hate how real that is as well.
Okay, so this is actually a really cool action sequence.
Yep.
It's one of those JoJo things where not a lot is happening in terms of choreography, but someone is using the strength of their conviction to do something dope. Pucci flings his own frozen blood off his body. Oh, well, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Weather is using a big burst of wind pressure. He's going to sustain it and these blood spikes to inevitably kill Pucci. Mm-hmm. Pucci's counter move is to throw his own blood spikes at Wes.
Yep.
With the internal justification that Weather's going to have to dodge this. And in that moment of dodging, the air current will change, allowing Pucci a moment to escape. Weather elects not to dodge and to maintain the attack.
Because he's fucking Wes Aquamarine.
He is pierced, 3 times in the chest, at least once in the head, maybe in the neck as well.
Yep.
But his conviction stays strong, and the streams of blood that followed on the spike also freeze, forming a tether between the two brothers. Chains of blood between them. Potent symbolism.
Jojo's Bizarre Adventure.
Much like the chains of blood that linked Jotaro to Dio.
Oh my god. It's all metaphors all the way down.
It's good.
I'm sure
this is genuinely good symbolism.
I'm sure Araki would have just been like, oh, I got a great idea. And now we're just like, it's like the symbolism is so obvious. And he's like, what?
But it's also really cool.
It's fucking rad. It makes no sense, but you're like, yes. Yes.
He called Anasui is taking the Speedwagon role.
Yep.
He didn't dodge, Mr. Joestar.
He didn't move.
Weather caught the priest by freezing more blood. And then he pulls him in via the blood tethers into his range. Huge, cool grayscale, but only the blood and his piercing blue eyes in colour.
Red versus blue.
Flashbacks to Perla dying. They're black and white screaming at each other. Weather Report goes in for the kill. Huge double-fisted punchies into his chest.
Pucci goes down.
Clouds everywhere. Blood, smoke. And then it resolves itself with Weather lying on the ground, Pucci on his chest, back to front. Mm-hmm. So that is to say, Pucci's back is to Weather's front on top of him.
Yep, and he's got him in a chokehold.
Yeah, Weather has Pucci in a chokehold, and he's going to kill him.
He's going to strangle him out in true, macho aquamarine style.
Pucci is bleeding. He is pleading for his life. He's also bleeding a lot. You could say he is bleeding for his life.
I think it's fair to say the entire street is just blood now.
I could have killed you any time, but I wanted to save you one day. And we also get cut-ins of his internal monologue, counting prime numbers to stay calm in this moment of absolute terror.
So this was when I was like, damn, something's gonna fucking happen.
I did it for you, brother. It was all heaven for you. Someone's gotta get to heaven someday.
7, 13.
Don't do this. Stop trying to end my life.
And he keeps counting those numbers. He keeps counting them up.
Pucci, Weather's only response is that Pucci is the worst form of evil, the kind that doesn't even realize it's evil. He rears back for a big punch. He goes in for the kill. Pucci never stops his monologue, begging for his life. And it looks like it's over until a car crashes out of nowhere into that other car from before. Jolene and friends are here to ruin everything.
We just needed them to be half a second later.
Yep.
But Jolene is all like...
You know what that is, Nick?
What?
Gravity.
Because we're going towards the sun.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I get you. I'm on the same
The very same sun that Dracula Untold so feared.
Just the concept of so listen, Vlad.
The Impaler, Dracula.
I reckon your son,
Dracula,
might have some tendencies towards evil. And he'll be like, no, he doesn't. He's not evil. It's like, well, he might not realize he's evil. Oh, that's the worst.
I evil and don't realize I'm evil?
Dracula, I got bad news. You're the worst kind of evil.
I thought you were going to say, you're the worst cunt.
Listen.
We're Australian, we can say it.
Listen, you've got some bad habits, Mr. Akula.
So, I'd say I've been rewatching 30 Rock recently.
Yeah.
When Jack's wife, Avery, has been taken by Kim Jong-il, later Kim Jong-un.
Yep.
Because it was around the time that happened.
Yep.
They go to the UN to try and get her back, and they go to the Transylvanian embassy. Mm-hmm. And I never noticed that the nameplate of the guy they go see is, it's C, first initial C.
Yep.
Then surname is something like...
Count Acula?
No, same vibe.
Yeah.
But it's something like CJOCULLA. So, Jocular.
Oh, I see.
Count Jocular.
Count Jocular. Oh my god, amazing.
There's a big dust storm. The drivers don't know what's going on, but they know that people are nearby. They get out. Mm-hmm. Versus pretty much immediately crawls away, is lost in the dust storm.
As one is to do.
Jolene eventually thinks she makes out the figure of Father Pucci. And she's like, it's Father Pucci. Gotta kill him, but I'm still a snail.
But the thing is, Father Pucci has already won.
Well, not that we know that yet. Jolene first does some crazy string catapult shit.
That's
where
right.
she wraps her string around one of the car tires. I think floors the accelerator so that it spins a lot and launches herself.
Yeah.
Which is a cool maneuver that goes absolutely nowhere.
Because Father Pucci has already won.
Yeah, and it's Pucci. He's monologuing. He's talking about how this is inevitable and he's gonna win, blah, blah, blah.
You dang kids just don't get it, do you? I can't die.
I'm Pucci.
Look, Domino...
When everyone isn't around, when I'm not around, everyone else is asking, where's Pucci?
Pucci?
But I'm always around because I'm me.
I have no uncertainty in my life. I just know what's going on.
No one can catch up to me now, blah, blah, blah.
He's ascended to the highest
level. He's
level.
Also cradling Weather's corpse.
Is he? Oh, that's right, yeah.
Spend your remaining days with your family and loved ones, blah, blah, blah. Dawn of the second day, 72 hours remain.
And then the concept of logic is thrown out the window when Jolene punches the image of Pucci and Weather Report.
She goes in for the kill, but then Anna Sui's like, nah, don't bother.
Yeah, only to be met with no reaction whatsoever.
He diver downs into it to figure out what's going on. And what's happened is, in the dust of the crash, Pucci has A, killed Weather Report.
Yep.
B, encountered manipulated and killed
Versus.
such that Versus is using Mr. and Mrs. Christmas to
Fucking go with Mr. and Mrs. Christmas.
create the image of Pucci giving this monologue about how he's unstoppable while holding Weather Report's body.
Yeah.
Which we can see trailing up the road, kind of.
Yeah, which had to happen because he only can get the memories of the Earth.
So he did that monologue for reals, too.
So he had to do the monologue, then do the
monologue,
bit.
kill Weather, find Versus, put the disc in his head to make him do this thing.
Yep.
Get out of there.
Yep. And all the while, I think he's watching from afar.
Yeah, I think so. And admittedly, everyone else is snails, so, they're not exactly moving quickly.
Yeah, there's no pace.
Yeah.
Although, as this is happening, they're also realizing that the snail parts of them are kind of going away.
Yeah.
But they're not sure why, because Weather...
Why, he's surely fine. It's Weather.
He should be alright.
Yeah.
We all love Weather Report.
Yeah. Where's Aquamarine? I can't say it. Where's Aquamarine?
Where is Aquamarine?
Where's Aquamarine?
Whenever
It's a good vocal warm-up, actually.
Where's Aquamarine? Where's Aquamarine? Where is
Aquamarine?
Where is Aquamarine? Een? Sure, I'll take it. Why does he have that fucking name?
It's Jojo.
Ah.
Weather Report's dead. Sad music plays. Jolene's like, I wish I could speak to you in the warm breeze one last time. Let's think about our top 5 favourite Weather Report moments.
When he was on screen.
When he briefly had this thing where he would only speak when he got really close to your face and whispered. Do you remember that?
I do remember he didn't like talking to people.
And he would only walk on his tiptoes. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was the thing, wasn't
He can't do that anymore. Got no legs.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Remember, he had all these gimmicks
quirks
in his first appearance that never...
They never mattered or actualized into anything whatsoever. But
That's
also,
Jojo's baby.
We love Weather Report.
We love it when he made the frogs, we love it when he made the snails, and we love it when he killed Pinocchio. from all literature forever.
Fuck, I forgot. I keep blowing it out of my memory.
That truly was the lies of P.
But then it was like, that whole section had multiple weather reports in there as well.
The lies of P, and the P stands for podcasting.
Are we
That's true, yeah. Podcasting is an inherently deceptive medium, because we are not actually here talking with you, listener. Even though, by addressing you directly, we create the impression that we are, and that this is somehow an intimate conversation between friends. But truthfully, there are just 2 friends in this room, me and my phone.
It's a parasocial Wait a fucking minute.
We're work colleagues at best.
Listen, in our darkest moments, we hang out together.
I am funnier when I'm unhappy.
Liam, that's not a healthy mechanism. The whole breakup has made you incredibly good at your job.
And this is why we acknowledged it, so we can make jokes like this.
We can dunk on you for doing a good job in the podcast, but I need you to do a bad job.
Anasui comes up and starts talking about himself.
Fuck, he really does, doesn't he? It's like, oh, I need to console Jolene in this tough moment. I had a rough childhood.
He says, listen, Jolene, people say that I'm a cold-blooded killer. At least the newspapers said so, and I completely agree with that. When they asked me if I would give my life for my parents, I said no. I would still say that. My parents can't move my heart, but I would give my life for the people who brought me back to life. That includes Weather Report.
He's one of the people
who were important to me, Anasui.
It's just like, what fucking, this is like if, I don't know, your dad dies, right?
Okay.
And in that moment, you're like, God, Dad's dead. It's like, Liam, I owned a guitar once that I really liked, and I was willing to sell it for $800.
And I did, and I always regretted it.
Yeah. So, moral of the story.
Do you know where my guitar is?
I mean, I think I might have sold it to you, or maybe someone you know, so if you can help me out.
They end the episode on revealing that Weathers set up a little Chekhov's gun for them. When he got impaled by Whitesnake, he used that Whitesnake power, somehow, to trap the Weather Report power in a disc. And now they have that disc.
So they've got the disc to use Weather Report's power when they want. But they would have to put it in their brain.
Yeah.
Which might unlock something within them.
Something dark.
Something
to turn things into snails.
But yeah, that's pretty much the last
And they
thing.
say,
There's some leaves.
Weather came back to life when he left the prison. This is proof he was truly happy in the last few days.
Would we say he was happy?
I mean, he liked being outside the prison and fighting Van Gogh.
I don't know if
Fighting his hero, Van Gogh.
Oh my god.
He created his OC.
Was he? Could we say he
Weather
was happy?
Report's final use of his power is to make it rain on the lower half of all their faces.
I would have loved if Weather Report...
Hermes looks sad.
Very sad. I like the implication in my head of Weather Report gets out of the prison, he has no memories, anything that happens outside the prison is just normal to him. Because he has...
This is what society's like, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so you're Vincent van Gogh. I know your name. You're just here.
You're just alive.
Okay.
I thought I heard you died, but I guess I was wrong.
All right.
Nick.
Yes.
Highlights and lowlights.
My highlight is going to be the Weather Report... sorry, not Weather Report. Anisui being like, oh yes, I've just noticed something. It's a blood spike that's coming out of you.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That one bit, I'm like, this is... Because, like, everything is so fucking stupid. And yet all of it is like, oh, okay, it was worth it. It was worth it. It's all dumb. And it's all worth it every time.
Yeah.
Where, like, you reach the end point, you're like, he's brought it back. It makes no sense. But damn if that's not a good line.
My highlight is the blood spike tether maneuver from both sides of it.
Symbolism and awesome.
Yeah, a potent symbol and a cool stunt. Yeah. Lowlights.
My lowlight is... Okay, so somehow Pucci, in the space of what I can only assume to be 10 seconds, noticed the car, managed to get it to hit Weather Report, but not himself. Then managed
I think that was probably a fluke. Or gravity.
Yeah. Managed to run away so he wasn't seen in front of the car. Managed to then yoink, while blind, do the monologue to Weather Report, then pull Versus away, convince him within the dust to...
Kill Weather Report as well.
Yeah, kill Weather Report as well. Within the dust.
I guess he could put his eyes back in as soon as he did that.
Maybe. But it's like, there's just so many levels of like, how did you do... Because Versus was still there in the car. So, how? My
lowlight, and this might be sacrilege to as a lover of dumb Jojo bullshit.
Oh, you're skirting a fine
I just
line.
don't buy the subliminal message in rainbows as a reason to turn people into snails.
How dare you, sir? I will die on this hill. That is so fucking dumb. It comes back to being
It's true,
genius.
it does, but it's a really good episode, and I've got to pick something.
It's so fucking stupid. Where, like, just the concept of, like, so, does it unlock something primal within to look at the rainbow? It could have been the rainbow causes people to... that's it, full stop.
We would have accepted that.
But because it was like, well, it's a subliminal message that people...
And the the body follows the mind.
Exactly. And we can tell from research that it's not effective on people that wouldn't have done it anyway. But
everyone wants to be a snail.
God,
on account of that thing Jolene said the other episode about how they can mate with anything.
God, I wish I was a snail.
Okay, so Weather Report is dead.
Unexpected.
In the lethal portion of the arc.
Yep.
Father Pucci has escaped. Still 3 days until the new moon when he attains heaven.
Everyone has turned into a snail and presumably has now turned back.
Yep, unless they died while snails.
Yeah, or been eaten by those beetles.
Yep. What will happen next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Stone Ocean, Episode 33, entitled Gravity of the New Moon.
Ooh. Okay. So I still think... Because every JoJo's part has time shenanigans.
Yeah, fair guess.
So some time shenanigans have to happen. But I still don't get what he's talking about with the new moon.
It's when he's going to get powers.
Yeah, other than we're going to space.
Because there was the ritual.
Yeah.
And the first part of it was the green baby.
Yep.
And the second part of it was...
those numbers. Although that was the latitude and longitude after you say those.
That's right. You go to the latitude and longitude point.
Yeah.
Which is... Cape Canaveral at the time of the new moon.
Yeah.
So we've been at that step for
quite some time.
Since leaving Green Dolphin Street.
Yeah. I still don't really get what the fuck is going on because...
Well, Dio wrote on his stand and in a book how to obtain heaven.
But he himself did not do it because
he got killed by Jotaro.
Well, didn't he also say, like, I need a friend who is like...
He did need a good friend, but I think that was part of the ritual.
Maybe. So then, in order to attain heaven, he needs to go there and then just wait until the new moon
He needs to be there at the
happens?
time of the new moon. That's all we know so far.
But, like, we're going to space, right? We're going into space.
It is Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral.
I mean, we're going to the moon. What if the moon opens?
It's a JRPG. We're going to the moon.
Exactly. It's like the moon opens,
Just like
into something.
Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker,
Yeah.
in which you go to the moon and meet some lovely rabbits.
What if instead of time shenanigans being like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward some time or rewind some time. What if the new moon is like, on that night Dio died?
Oh, we go back to 1988.
And then
Marty!
we
have to
literally
go back.
We literally
I guess
instead
1985.
instead of Dio dying, the new moon is, I come back and prevent you from dying. Thus causing all of the events.
I think once again you have kind of described the plot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven on PlayStation 4.
But like, it could be that, or it could be something like, I attain heaven, I get another stand power. It's
Search
gotta
your
be-
heart. You know it's I get another stand
Yeah,
power.
it's gotta, maybe it's just literally Dio stand power again.
The world.
The world, maybe. But why would Dio want a second the world?
There's twice as much time stop.
Oh my god. 10 whole seconds.
Whoa.
But like, I'm still not really sure what time shenanigans could happen.
What if he just goes to actual Christian heaven?
No, that couldn't happen. I don't think Araki...
Danny from 1888. He's here.
God. Oh my god. He's such a pure soul. But like, I don't think that's gonna... There wouldn't be like actual heaven.
We saw Caesar and Bucciarati's ghosts go to heaven.
What if? Okay. What if he attains heaven, the pearly gates, they just open on Cape Canaveral, he opens them, and then everyone that's died in JoJo's that went to heaven beats down on fucking
The
fun.
end.
And it's like, you're not worthy. It's like, I am. I attained heaven. He's like, no.
Only a Joestar can obtain heaven.
And so for the rest of his days, he's just stuck in heaven being beaten by everyone.
It's
in
like
heaven.
that one sequence from part 5 where they're all kicking that waiter.
Yes, exactly. But forever.
Yeah, well, that's canon now. And we'll find out all about that next time on JoJo's World. But until then, to be continued.